What's going on, all my toy collectors and turtle fans out there? You know who it is. It's your boy Ox, and welcome to the Cave of Wonders. Now this week, it's been all about the turtles. We spent each day taking a look at each one of the characters in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Universal Monsters Collection by NECA Toys. Today's the last day. We're going to take a look at Donatello as the Invisible Man. And make sure you guys stay tuned to the end of the review, because I'm going to go ahead and show you all the characters next to each other compared to the old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Universal Monsters Collection by Playmates Toys. All right, guys, let's get into it. Okay, now this right here is the front of the box. You can see right here it says Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Universal Monsters. Right here in the middle lets you know the character we're going to be looking at, which is Donatello as the Invisible Man, and that's what he looks like right there on the front of the box. Now I've already measured this out for you guys. It's 6.5 inches long by 9 inches tall by 3.5 inches in depth. And I want to make sure you guys know that not all these boxes are the exact same width in depth is basically what I'm talking about. They're the same length and the same height, but as far as width of how far they're going to stick out on your shelf or how much shelf space you're going to need, all these are different. Like two of the ones we just looked at earlier this week were like 2.5. One of them was 5 inches. So just make sure that you guys are listening when I'm giving you guys the description of the box size, because I don't want you guys making some kind of shelf or buying these and thinking you're going to have enough room and then not all the boxes are the same depth. Okay, guys? But yeah, right here on the side of the box, you can see it says Donatello as the Invisible Man. Like all the other figures we looked at, has this really cool image right here. And to let you know, you'll never see me coming, or you'll never see him coming. Donatello the Invisible Man. Watch behind you. Madness or genius, you decide. Look out, his secrets unwraps. That's really cool. Once the bandages are peeled, the mysterious will be revealed. Catch him if you can. And I really like this. I like this box so far. I haven't opened the figure yet and took a look, but everything about this figure just seems like I'm really gonna like it, man, from taking a look at everything on the back of here. And then right here you can see some of the other characters that we already looked at. And then you pop it open, and there he is. And he does look like a really awesome figure. I can't wait to get him out and get him in hand. And you can see all his accessories. And then like all the other figures we looked at, you can see this really cool image of him. That's the actual figure right there, unlike the front where this is like some kind of painted image. This right here is the actual figure and like a little diorama behind him. Really cool pose. But yeah, let's go ahead and pop him out of the box. Okay, now here's the last figure in this Universal Monsters collection, Donatello as the Invisible Man out of the box. You can see it comes with the figure, comes with a hat right here, comes with a pair of invisible hands and invisible feet, comes with 6 extra swappable hands on top of the 2 that he has, so a total of 8, plus these 2, so you could actually say 10. Then he comes with this little cup right here. Comes with a book. He comes with his weapon, which is his bow, a swappable head, and then this little telescope or magnifying glass right here. And yeah, that's pretty much everything that he comes with. Let's start off with looking at his hat. You can just pop this on. It doesn't have any kind of little hole or little peg or anything. You just sit this right on the top of his head. Now, if you guys remember when we looked at Splinter earlier in the week, he actually has a hat. This isn't the exact same hat. They actually look different. This one's meant to fit his bigger head right there. This one right here isn't removable. It doesn't come off of that head. So it's not the exact same hat. Taking a look at his invisible feet. Now, out of all the characters that we looked at, Donatello right here is the only one that came with an extra pair of feet. Obviously because they wanted him to be either invisible or have the wraps like the ones that he came out of the box with right there. And these are see-through. That's pretty cool. I like it that they end up giving us these. Same with the hands right here. They're invisible as well, or translucent, I guess you could say. So if you guys don't want to have him with those gloves on, because all the other hands have gloves on. These are the only ones that are invisible, and they're like gripping hands. Then he comes with a lot of extra hands. Some of them are almost the exact same, so I'll show you the ones that are different. This one right here is, I don't really know what that is, just like kind of like scary hands coming out basically. All his fingers are like bent and distorted. This right here is one of him pointing, in case he's like pointing at something basically. Then the other ones are basically gripping hands but different sizes. So as you can see right there, look how big that hole is right there between his hands, between his fingers, compared to this one, which is a little bit tighter. And the same with these two right here. This one's really big. Maybe that's for him to hold that that little magnifying glass or I think that's what it's called, a magnifying glass science lab thing. I'm not really sure what it's called, but each one of them have these little pads right on the back of them with little lines, so they're not just solid black. Now, taking a look at this thing, I don't know what, like I said, I don't know what this thing's called, like a telescope or a magnifying glass, basically, for him to look down into and look at, you know, germs and stuff like that. It doesn't articulate or anything like there, so don't try and bend it up because you might break it right here in this plastic part. But it is really cool. It looks really detailed. You can actually see through it right there. There's a little hole in the bottom where you guys can see through whatever he's, you know, supposed to be looking at. And yeah, painted really well, black and silver. This right here is his little measuring cup or little mixing cup. It has like a little plastic spoon thing in it right there. It doesn't come out, but obviously he's meant to, like, you know, mix some kind of chemicals or something like that inside this little glass. This right here is his little book. I don't know if it's meant to be like some kind of a journal or a medicine book or something, but obviously it says TGRI on it, like what the ooze was made out of, basically. Nothing on the back, just straps. All the little buckles and everything are all painted gold. This right here is that extra head sculpt, which is actually really awesome because it's invisible. You don't see any eyes, nothing on the inside. It's basically hollow on the inside. So you just pop that in. And as you can see, his hair is sticking out the top, unlike that one right there where his hair is wrapped up. But this is really good. I'll show you what it looks like when I pop it on, okay, guys? And this right here is his weapon, the only weapon that he comes with. It's a bow. Really cool. You can see it's wrapped all the way around. Looks all, you know, dusty and nasty, like it's, you know, weathered, like it's been through it. Yeah, but that's it right there. Now let's take a look at the figure, and I'll show you what he looks like with those different accessories in his hands and different head sculpts, okay? Taking a look at the figure up close, I'm not going to lie to you. This one right here might take the cake. I really liked Leo as the Hunchback. And I ended up growing to like Mikey, you know, throughout the week of just looking at him and moving him around, Mikey as the Mummy. But I ain't gonna lie, Donatello, I think, steals the show, man. And I'll show you guys why in a second. On top of, not just on top of everything that he comes with, but I'll show you what else in a minute that really end up making me like this figure straight out of the box. But I like his coat right here. I like the fact that they end up putting, you know, a lot of purple in there. Instead of just making his wraps purple, they made them brown and add the purple right here, purple on his little glasses right there. Yeah, and his feet, like I said, they're wrapped up right here, but they are translucent in the toes, and you could swap those out and put those other feet, which I'll show you in a minute. Another pair of gloves. These ones right here are just two-fisted hands. You can't fit nothing in these, so you have to pop those out and put those gripping hands in. And yeah, but this right here is what steals the show. The translucent, invisible shell where you can see the pizza. That is amazing. I don't know if that's supposed to be pizza that he already ate or pizza that he's hiding, because this shell doesn't open like the Hunchback's shell does, like Leo's did. But maybe that's just the food that he ate and you could see it in his body. I'm not really for sure, but that is really sick, man. I love it that they did that. And you can still see the shell texture throughout. But yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man. Donatello ended up stealing the show for me out of all these figures, man. I like it. Even the little leather wrapping right here looks real. I love how they made it look like that. The little pads right here. You can see his jeans are cuffed right there. Yeah, this looks really dope, man. I really like this figure. Let's take a look at the articulation real quick, okay? His head's on a ball joint, so it does rotate around. It doesn't look down very far. It doesn't look up, basically just looks straight, you know? But he can lean forward. So unlike the other ones that didn't have ab crunch, it looks like he can lean forward. I don't know, because you can't take this jacket off to see if he actually has ab crunch, but he does lean forward a bit. So if you want him to stand straight up, like, you know, stand up without his knees bent, you can also lean him forward. You can't really do that with most of the other figures that we looked at. Now his arms do come up, they do rotate around, they do rotate right up at the top of the elbow, and they do rotate at the bottom as well, because he had double jointed elbows. Obviously this padding, like all the other turtles that we looked at, these little pads right here end up, you know, hindering that articulation. His hands do rotate around, they do go in, they do go out. Now, like I said, I can't see what he's looking like underneath this jacket right here, but he does crunch forward. He does crunch forward a little ways. And his legs do swivel around at the top. You just got to reach underneath his trench coat right there. They do swivel around. They do bend, but like I said, you can't undo the jacket. So I can't get his legs to come out any further. I can only get them to go up to there. You know, this jacket right here is stopping him. And they do turn at the knee, so you can swivel them around right up there at the knee. It's just you can't bend the knees really any more than what you already, you know, any further back, because, you know, this is stiff right here. It's not letting me. Now his feet do rotate around. They do go down. They do go up. They do rock back and forth. But it's pretty cool that they actually do rotate around. They probably ended up doing that because his legs can't come out any, because most of the other figures, their legs don't actually rotate all the way around. But yeah, pretty cool. And that right there is all of his articulation. I want to take a good look at his face right here. Look at those goggles. The goggles don't come off. They almost feel like they can, but yeah, they do. Oh, they do. Oh, they do. I didn't know that they came off. I thought they were stuck because they're pretty good on there. But yeah, let's take a look at these real quick and I'll pull them off for you. I'm sorry. I didn't know that those things ended up coming off. Let's pop them off real quick and take a look at them eyes. Oh, that is dope. That is really cool. You guys got to let me know down in the comments if you guys even knew that these goggles came off, because I didn't have a clue that they came off. But right there, that's how his eyes look. Invisible, see-through. You can just pull these. Ah, they fell on the ground. I'll get them in a second. But yeah, let's move around the back. You can see his collar. That kind of is why it stops his head from going up. It kind of hits that collar right there, and the collar doesn't bend any. So taking a look at his shell. Look at all that pizza in there. That's really dope, man. You know, NECA, if you guys decide to end up watching my channel ever, you guys did a really amazing job, man. I always love your guys' work, but whoever came up with these ideas, I know you guys are probably sitting in some kind of little meeting room and coming up with ideas, but whoever came up with the idea for the pizza in the shell, amazing work, man. Great job, great job. Yeah, this figure looks really cool, man. I like it. I like the wraps. I like the invisible toes. Let's go ahead and swap out his head real quick and swap out his hands, and I'll show you what he looks like with those invisible feet, invisible hands real quick. All right. Okay, now here he is with his bow in his hand, and I swapped out his hands for those invisible hands and the invisible feet, and then I swapped out his head right there. Now, just so you guys know, this little hat right here, it won't fit on this hat, on this head right here, because of the hair sticking out right there. So you'll end up having to use this hat on that other head, okay? And yeah, let's take a look at him up close. Like I said, his hands are translucent. Same with his feet. You can see through them. That's really cool. I'm going to end up posing them with these probably because I like the way they look. And that head, gosh, look at that. Like I said, it's all hollow on the inside, so you don't see anything. That is a really cool head sculpt. I like it a lot. Check that out. Check out the hands. That's dope. I might have them with one hand with a glove on and then the other hand basically disappearing. I'm not for sure, but this is right here is how he holds that staff. Let's go ahead and pop out these accessories, and I'll pop on the other head and put the hat on it, and then I'll show him holding something else. Okay, guys? Okay, now here's Donnie the Invisible Man holding this little glass right here that he comes with. That's probably why it ended up coming with such a big gripping hand, so it was open wide enough in order for him to hold that glass. He's holding that little journal book right there where he probably keeps all his chemicals. And like I said, his hat, you can just pop it right on the top of his head. It's just going to sit on there. It's not snapping in or anything like that. So if you guys want to pop it off, it just easily come right off just like that. So, and you can choose whether it actually, if you take his glasses off like that, gosh, those eyes are really cool. It'll push down a little bit further on there like that. Yep. So you can kind of have it tilted to the side if you guys want or something, or, you know, hanging down like that, however you guys want. Like I said, you're going to have to take those goggles off if you want to, you know, push it down on there a lot harder. But yeah, it looks really cool, man. I really like this figure. This right here is probably one of my favorites now, man. A really awesome detail, really awesome ideas right here where they decided to go ahead and throw that pizza in there and all the stuff that he comes with, the invisible eyes and everything. Now, let's go ahead, and they actually did come out with a Playmates Invisible Man. It was Mikey as the Invisible Man. I don't have that figure. The thing goes for like $300 or $400 on eBay, and I didn't have it when I was little, so I wasn't going to rebuy it because it was too expensive. But they did have a Playmates Invisible Man figure back in the day, so I don't have that to compare for you guys. But what I am going to do is I'm going to line up all these figures so you guys can see them all next to each other, and I'll also put the Playmates figures in front so you guys can see the difference between the old Playmates figures, Universal Monsters figures, and these new ones that NECA did. Okay, guys? Stick with me. Okay, now here's all these Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Universal Monsters together. This right here is the old Playmates ones. I only have 5 of them. There's 3 more. There's April as Bride of Frankenstein. There is Michelangelo as the Invisible Man and Raphael as the Martian, I think. I don't have those figures. I didn't have them when I was little, and these figures are really expensive now. So, you know, one day if I find them, I'll buy them for a good price. And these are the ones that we looked at by NECA, starting off with Raphael as Frankenstein's monster, Michelangelo as the Mummy, Splinter as Van Helsing, Leonardo as the Hunchback. Look at those brains right there. And the way he looks, that's so cool, man. If you guys want to see any of these videos, they're in my playlist, okay, guys? This right here is April O'Neil's The Bride of Frankenstein. Casey Jones as the Phantom. And last but not least, Donatello as the Invisible Man. Now this is how they all look together. I hope you guys enjoyed this review all week of all these different characters. Make sure you guys, leave me a thumbs up. Let me know if you like it. Throw me a comment. Let me know if this is something you guys collect or something you guys are into or something you didn't think you'd end up buying. And due to my reviews, you're going to go out there and go buy them now because these are some really cool, really detailed action figures, man. Well, yeah, thanks for sticking with me all week. Until next time, guys, stay cool.